What's up, everybody? Justin here with a new top 50 most iconic moments and matches in WWE history, part 7. My final part, where I count down from the top 50, number 3 to number 1. So, by the way, I would appreciate it if you check out the other 6 parts. I really appreciate it. Maybe you'll agree with some of my top 50, maybe you won't agree they were iconic moments or matches in not only WWE, but of course WWF history, because that's what I grew up watching, or that's what WWE used to be. So here we go with part 7 of my top 50 most iconic moments and matches in WWE history. Number 3, the body slam, the match, the WrestleMania main event heard around the world. Definitely is one of the greatest, most iconic WrestleMania moments. It will live forever, in my opinion. Like in 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. If there's still a planet Earth in 50 years, who knows if there even will be. Because of all this global warming, the Earth could just set itself on fire at some point. Everything could end. And I'm not saying it will, and I hope it doesn't, but it could with all this really awful weather, and every year it's getting hotter. The ice is melting more and more in the Atlantic, and the storms are getting worse and worse. Global warming's real, in my opinion. So, number 3, it actually opens a WWE, a part of WWE television, the opening video, then, now, forever. Now it just says forever. Hopefully, WWE goes on forever and doesn't really start losing a ton of money. I don't know. I don't think they're in trouble. They got 10 more years of making a lot of money, I believe. I don't think they'll ever go under, but I can't imagine in 10 years what the ratings will be. Who knows? I don't know the future. All I know about the future is I'm going to still be a wrestling fan. So, number 3, again, it opens the WWE shows. It's the beginning, I believe, where the body slam heard around the world, WrestleMania 3. Number 3 is Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3. Not just body slamming him, but defeating him. And the torch was kind of passed from Andre to Hogan. Andre was smart. He knew that it was Hogan's time. He knew Hogan was a franchise and Hogan was the man in the company. Andre knew Hogan was the right guy, or else, yes, I know they're friends, but he went to put him over if Andre didn't know he was a future and he was the right guy. After Hogan lost to Andre at WrestleMania 3, I believe he lost. He lost to other guys in countouts or DQs. He did lose to others. I believe Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I know him and Andre had a feud in '88, but anyways, I'm going off topic. He probably lost to Hacksaw, Warrior, and I don't know what happened. I don't remember if he lost to Jake the Snake in their feud. I know he lost to Demolition at WrestleMania 6. Andre lost there, even though sadly he couldn't even get in the match. He never got in the match at WrestleMania 6. his last ever WrestleMania as a wrestler. He appeared at WrestleMania 7, but Andre was in bad shape. The guy had crutches. It was sad. It was cool to still see him on TV as a kid, but he was in bad shape. He had crutches. And he still did a storyline on crutches, and Earthquake attacked him off his crutches and did the Earthquake splash on Andre. I believe that was in 91. So number 3 is Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3. It was epic, great WWE, WWF. One of the greatest moments of all time that will live forever. The crowd exploded. It was awesome. I still get goosebumps when I watch Hogan body slam Andre. And I try to watch that match at least, not the whole match, but the end. I try to watch it at least once or twice a year before WrestleMania. So number 3, Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant. That should be on anybody's top 50 most iconic moments and matches. Number 2 just started a couple years ago. It started first, in my opinion, in NXT. It really got off the ground. What am I talking about? Number 2 is the women's evolution and revolution in the WWE. Stephanie doesn't get any credit. I'm sorry. Yeah, she has some power in the company to push women, but she didn't know a damn thing about good women's wrestling. She didn't know how to push it or promote it. WWE didn't know how to push it or promote it. Yeah, they had good women before. Before 2013, 2014, they had a lot of good women that put on good matches like Trish, Lita, Victoria, Beth Phoenix, Melina, Ivory, Jacqueline, Molly Holly, Gail Kim. Women like that I just named were very good and deserve a lot of credit for the WWE women's evolution and revolution. Before it's called that, those women were really doing great stuff. And all of them were pretty damn good workers. I almost even want to say Maurice, because I thought Maurice was not bad as a wrestler. I was a fan of Maurice. I was a big fan of hers. Mickie James, I can't leave out Mickie James. She was damn good at what she did before it was called the Women's Revolution. So, but in 2013, 2014, Triple H really pushed the women in NXT. He let them have longer matches. He knew what to do with the women. The main roster, sometimes, they're a lot better now, but sometimes they don't know what the hell to do with a lot of the women. Especially Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn I believe they don't like women's wrestling at all. They just got to put them on the shows, or else the fans would probably be outraged and go nuts on social media. So, anyways, number 2 is the women's evolution revolution. It started in NXT. It has come to the main roster. And who deserves credit? Triple H. Sasha, Bayley, Becky, Charlotte. They got it off the ground in NXT. They really got it off the ground. The fans cared. The fans were emotionally invested in the women's storylines in NXT and their matches. Before them, Paige, she deserves credit for being in NXT, the first ever NXT Women's Champion. Another woman from the past that deserves a lot of credit. AJ Lee. Very good talker. Not the best wrestler, but a damn good character and really good talker. And AJ Lee, like it or not, she was super over. She had a big fan base. Probably still does. I don't think AJ Lee will ever be coming back to the WWE. I doubt it. Possibly she could appear in AEW, but I doubt it. I think she's retired for good. So again, the women's evolution revolution is number 2. We have seen women main event WrestleMania for the first time ever. I mean, it is the women's division has come so damn far, and WWE women have finally main evented WrestleMania. It was a perfect storm. It was absolutely three perfect women to pick to main event WrestleMania. Becky, Charlotte, Ronda. They were the perfect options for a first ever WrestleMania women's main event. And they did deliver. They really delivered. You gotta give them credit. They went out to the ring at after midnight. That I'm sure they were tired and just really wanted to have the main event before then. It's probably also cold outside also. At midnight it's probably like 40s. So anyways, you had the women main event WrestleMania. You've had the first ever women's Hell in a Cell on the main roster. First ever women's Iron Man match. First ever women's last woman standing match. You have had Raw women's, not just Raw, but WWE women's tag team titles are back. That's a big step forward. That's great. Again, I got to mention Asuka. I'll mention a lot of women that deserve credit for the women's evolution. Asuka. When Triple H signed Asuka to NXT, it was a game changer. It was fantastic. I was so excited to see Asuka in NXT, and she over-delivered. She did her part, and she absolutely destroyed and was the best female wrestler in NXT. Probably is still the best female wrestler on the main roster if they would give her more opportunities to do it. So Asuka in NXT, one of the greatest women's champions of all time. Kairi Sane, fantastic. She's great. Toni Storm, she deserves a lot of credit. She was in the Mae Young Classics. She was in not WWE, but she's been a part of women's wrestling a couple years. She was in Stardom doing great stuff. She was in Progress, WXW. Toni Storm's great. And Toni Storm is doing great in NXT UK. I'd like to see her wrestle more on TV, but whatever. They got to show the other women they got also on NXT UK. They got to promote them and let them work too. Viper. What's her name? Piper Niven. She's great. Ginny's great. Candice LeRae, Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, Dakota Kai, Nikki Cross. I almost said Nikki Storm. I believe that was her name on the Indies. Nikki Storm, I think. Dakota Kai, very good. It sucks that she's injured. Rhea Ripley, very good. She deserves credit. Vanessa Bourne, I'm a fan of hers. I would like to see more of her. Who else? There is so many great women that WWE has on the roster and in NXT and NXT UK. Ember Moon, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, very good character, very good talker. Kaylee Ray, very good. Nina Samuels, very good too. Killer Kelly, watch out for Killer Kelly in 2019. She's awesome. I love Killer Kelly's look. I love her style. She's great. I wish she would be booked a lot more on NXT UK. I believe she is a champion of indie company. I think she is their women's champion. Maybe WXW, I'm not sure. But I do believe Killer Kelly is a champion for some company. Just so many women have made the women's evolution really, really damn good. Number 2 is the WWE Women's Revolution Evolution. They've main evented WrestleMania. They have women's tag titles. They had their own pay-per-view, Evolution. They main evented Hell in a Cell. They've had a Hell in a Cell match. They've had cage matches. They've had Money in the Bank women's ladder matches. So the women's evolution revolution has come a damn far way, and I'm proud to call myself, always will be, I am proud to be a fan of women's wrestling. It is so awesome. That's number 2. Number 1. The number 1 most iconic moment in WWE history. It's a moment. It's not a match. It's a moment. Number 1, WWE, at the time they were WWF, WWE buys WCW. That was the end of an era. That was big. That was shocking. It was damn surprising. Without WWE without Vince buying WCW, I don't think there would be a WWE network that would have started without the WCW and NWA library of tapes. I don't think there'd be any network without WCW. There could be, but of course there could be because of the monthly live pay-per-views. But still, just imagine, think about it. If the network, WWE Network, did not have WCW and NWA, if they didn't have all their tapes, Jim Crockett Promotions, Mid-Atlantic, if they didn't have all those tapes, it'd be kind of hard to start a network. I mean, you got all those Nitros on there, a lot of Thunders, WCW Saturday Nights, WCW World Championship Wrestling, NWAs from the late 80s. Every single NWA and WCW pay-per-view on there. Without WWF buying WCW, there would be no WWE network, in my opinion. So that's number 1. Number 1 is when WWF bought their competition and Vince bought WCW. This ends my top 50 most iconic moments and matches in WWE history. What are some of yours? Tell me them in the comments. What are some of your favorite, top 5 most iconic moments or matches in WWF, WWE history? I gave you my top 50. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, 7-part series of shows. It's in a playlist. Enjoy it. Bye for now, everybody.